Hello, this is Duke from Duke It Out, and while I've predicted pay-per-views on the podcast, I haven't made a normal video predicting any shows. So I figured I'd start with Jeremy Piven's favorite premium live event, Summerfest. While plenty of the card could just seem like a repeat of WrestleMania this year, it's still got some hype going in. And weird fact that this is the first non-August SummerSlam, I think, ever. Oh, and Vince not being in charge of it. That's a big one. This 8-match card has got some potential, so let's see what I think will go down. First up, Pat McAfee versus Happy Corbin. A match that is also about between two teammates of the 2009 Indianapolis Colts. But especially since WrestleMania, Pat McAfee has been one of this year's WWE highlights. Even for this feud, even keeping kayfabe alive by wearing a neck brace at the UFC event after Corbin hit him with the end of days at Money in the Bank. The match should be pretty fun with another fun entrance to Seven Nation Army, and we can see the further advancements McAfee has worked on in the ring. I feel bad that Corbin hasn't gotten a big pay-per-view win lately, and while he should get one soon, I do think he's going to be putting McAfee over for this match. But the whole thing should still have great energy from the crowd. Next up, Logan Paul versus The Miz. From tag team partners at Mania to opponents at SummerSlam. While Logan Paul gave a good performance a few months ago, this is his very first singles match, which definitely gives him more to carry. He did cut a decent promo on Raw, and if he kept working at it since WrestleMania, he could give a much better performance this time around. The Miz has pretty much gone up to veteran status in WWE, so he's gonna be a good heat magnet, and will make sure to sell any offense really well. I'm torn on if this match is gonna be any good or not, but one thing's for sure. Logan Paul is most likely gonna take the win here. I can see Miz cheating to win as well, but I think that's a bit less likely. Next is the United States title rematch between Bobby Lashley and Theory. Theory winning Money in the Bank further solidified the huge push that WWE has been giving him. And if he does end up cashing in at the end of this show, he could become the first man to hold the WWE, Universal, and United States Championship at the same time. That's a tough challenge alone, and beating Bobby Lashley to get there makes it an even bigger challenge. The chemistry with them at Money in the Bank wasn't bad, but I'm not sure if there can be many additional spots added to this match. Besides a potential interference from Dolph Ziggler, the recent face turn could make him cost Theory the win or unintentionally help him win it, but I still think Lashley is going to hold on to that title a little longer. Then there's what I think could be SummerSlam show stealer, Seth freaking Rollins versus Riddle. Remember when there were reports of Rollins not wanting to work with Riddle in any capacity due to some words Riddle and his wife at the time said in the past? My oh my, how times change. Or not from recent reports? Just don't kill each other, guys. But I'm glad to see them have a singles match, because this has the potential to be a beyond great match. This bout has some build-up, but more so seems like an excuse to get two of their bigger stars on the card. With Orton being injured, this gives Riddle time to make himself a top single star, and he's always had the potential for it. His character is one of their best, and his ring work is some of the company's most underrated. I'm excited to see the clever counters and sequences meant for bigger events, and as for who's gonna win, I think Rollins is gonna take this one. After losing all the Cody matches and having more losses this year than wins, it's probably gonna be his time at SummerSlam. Probably in a cheaper way to keep Riddle more strong, but this is probably my most hype match for the show. Then there's the tag team title rematch between the Usos and the Street Profits. The match from these two at Money in the Bank was fantastic. The chemistry shined, the kneel falls were insanely intense, and this is a candidate for WWE's match of the year. How do you make that match even better? Jeff motherfucking Jarrett as special guest referee. Random choice, but adds to their story of always having a shoulder up in the end of their matches. With this special referee stipulation, I think that may make the match suffer from being less good than their last one, but it's surely going to be entertaining, and it's still a match that's not easy to predict. I've thought that either team is going to win while thinking of this. With the Usos reaching the 1-year mark as champions, they could either stop as soon as they get there or extend it a little bit. But I think I'm gonna go for Street Profits just for the fact that making them lose again could make them suffer more than the Usos. Next, for the SmackDown Women's Championship, Liv Morgan versus Ronda Rousey. I was so happy to see Liv Morgan be rewarded as much as she was at Money in the Bank. While I was a little annoyed that they kept the tradition of the women's Money in the Bank winner cashing in less than 24 hours later, it was a well-earned moment. Now here's where fans start to worry, because she immediately has a one-on-one match against Ronda Rousey, and it's Ronda Rousey. But apparently she wanted to give Liv that win, and she's been really showing her respect to the business in general. So will that be shown by Ronda immediately breaking her arm? I don't know. but for what I think, there's some fantasy booking added to it. Liv is going to get the win with another sneaky roll-up, the crowd will pop, and then Natalya will walk down to distract Liv and let Ronda attack her. Yes, I think this match will be the establishment to Ronda Rousey's heel turn. It can really help build more popular babyfaces in the women's division, and I think we can all agree that Ronda's mic skills would be way better as a heel. Obviously, I can't guarantee it'll happen, but I hope it does. And I'm ending it off with the two big WrestleMania rematches. First up being Bianca Belair versus Becky Lynch for the Raw Women's Championship. I'm not too sure if they should have had another match so soon after their WrestleMania Classic, but I'd be lying if I said I wasn't excited to see this match. Bianca's reign has had some highlights like the triple threat with Becky and Asuka, but has cooled down after the Carmella feud. I'm really excited for the storytelling that they can bring to the sequel match because their execution of that last time was brilliant. And I can definitely trust both of them to create some very unique spots that'll make this match feel different from their last. And I can honestly see either result. Becky's been one of their top stars for years, so giving her another reign wouldn't be much of a surprise. But they're also very high on Bianca, so her beating Becky twice is a possibility. I've gone back and forth, but for what I think is the best decision, Bianca Belair will end up retaining. Maybe she can get on the second rope and hit a higher KOD to make the finish keep Becky's rep intact. And when I mentioned Ronda potentially turning heel, I think this could help slowly build a face turn for Becky. The big time Beck's heel run is great, but I think it'd be better for her to switch things up before it's run its course. And plus, most people just cheer for Becky anyway. And last, but certainly not least, Roman Reigns versus Brock Lesnar 7, not being sarcastic, that's the number of matches they've had one-on-one, in a last man standing match for the undisputed WWE Universal Championship. I'm not trying to knock on either one of these guys because Roman and Brock are great, but giving them another match is pretty pointless, besides the fact that Brock's the only opponent with enough star power. Plus, the matches between them are repetitively booked. Spam finishers, fight outside, barricade or table spot, and then the finish. But with this match going around the arena, we do have potential of seeing some newer spots. But then we get the boring ref count for however many spots they have. I think Roman's definitely going to take this one, because it'd feel weird for Brock to win on his third match trying. And either way, we get a part-time champion, so might as well keep it on Roman. And hopefully we can go back to the style of him getting a different opponent each defense, because that's what made the first half of the Tribal Chief's reign so great. But there's also the possibility of them both not being able to get up, which would be very stupid. But it could set up Theory easily being able to cash in his Money in the Bank briefcase. I do think he's going to make an appearance during the main event, but I don't think he'll get the chance to actually cash in the briefcase. Either Brock will attack him, Roman will attack him, Dolph will attack him, or they all just gang up and beat the shit out of him. Not saying they won't book Theory to have a successful cash-in at the greatest party of the summer, but it really doesn't feel like the right time yet. So those are my predictions of SummerSlam 2022. Leave your predictions for the premium live event in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, ring the bell for notifications, and duke out your opinions below in the comments.